In the previous module, we covered pre-production. We identified a need that targets a specific audience. We developed our goals and objectives and our plan for dissemination and archiving. Now we're ready to move into production. But before we get into the specifics of production, there are a few things we need to cover that concern shooting at locations other than your own. Most content producers capture footage in different locations, such as labs, industry settings, and classrooms. The following will help you be better prepared. Prior to arriving at the location, be sure that you've secured permission to be there. There are 3 documents that are important here. The first is the project summary sheet. This one-page document gives you the essentials, an overview of the project, the target audience, and how the content is going to be disseminated. The second document is a location release. This grants you permission to enter the premises. The appearance release gives you permission to capture and use footage of people. Samples of location and appearance releases can be found on the site under additional resources. Your college may already have release forms you can use. When shooting on location, be sensitive to the daily operations and to people who are working while you're capturing footage. Always follow proper procedures and protocols. This can include wearing goggles and other safety equipment. No one should be sitting on the tables or eating in the lab. Make sure the area is clean and organized and is conveying the right message. Be mindful of clutter, proprietary material, and anything that is not appropriate. Remember, the video is not only representing you, but your school as well. Now it's time to think about what you'll use to capture your video. What equipment do you have and how much storage is available?
There are a lot of different options out there, including smartphones, tablets, video cameras, DSLRs, and more. No matter what device you use, the concepts remain the same. Use any tools you have available to you. If you have a microphone, use it. If you have a tripod, use that. Take advantage of your school's resources. If they have a media center, utilize it. Before you begin, practice and familiarize yourself with your gear. This helps minimize snags when you record for real. Your camera will capture your images, but don't forget about the audio. Other than the built-in microphone, there are different types of microphones you may have access to. 3 types of microphones we'd like to briefly cover here are the handheld, the shotgun, and the lavalier. A handheld mic is a good choice if you're doing quick interviews with people who don't have time for a formal interview, like a news reporter asking questions to people on the street. Another great use of a handheld mic is to pass it around to students in a classroom when they have a question. Sometimes you'll want a hands-free option that is less obtrusive, like a lav or a shotgun microphone. These choices provide good audio and don't draw attention to themselves. Lavs can be placed close to the subject's mouth and are typically attached to their clothing. A shotgun microphone is a directional mic that needs to be pointed toward the mouth of the speaker. Of the 3 microphones, lavs are typically your best bet. Before you begin recording, think about background noises that could interfere. These include air conditioner hum, traffic, wind, and more. Also, make sure you and others silence your phones before shooting. If you're recording critical information, record it twice. And finally, if you have headphones, use them to monitor the audio quality. Lighting makes a dramatic difference in the quality of your video. There are 2 environments in which you'll shoot, inside and outside. First, determine who or what is going to be the focus of your shot. Now pay attention to how the available light falls on the subject. For example, if you're shooting lab equipment, is there enough light to see all the detail? If not, add additional lights to draw attention to the subject. Or perhaps there's too much light and the details are overexposed and washed out. Now you need to reduce some of the light. You can do this by using cardboard, paper, or fabric to block some of the light source. For example, closing the shades of a nearby window could help. Shooting outside presents a different set of benefits and challenges. Typically, there is plenty of light, yet cloud cover makes the lighting inconsistent. Of course, these conditions are out of your control, but you can work with them and use them to your advantage. Avoid direct sunlight if possible. Too much light will overexpose your shot and you will lose detail. Once that detail is lost, there's no getting it back. Use the sun to your benefit. Always have the sun behind you while shooting, or if possible, shoot in the shade. Overcast days are great for shooting outside. Cloud cover will filter the sun and softly light your subject. The setting is also important. Your background should complement, not compete with your subject. Your subject is the foreground and should be the focus of your shot. Sometimes, a background looks best when populated with people. Showing people in the background working is always more interesting than a vacant room. Think about your shots ahead of time. While shooting, it's important to change the angles and the focal length. Shooting a mix of wide, medium, and close-up shots from different angles will help you when you edit. Make sure the orientation of your device is horizontal. This makes it watchable on all devices. Vertical video is not a crime. Yet. While you may have the ability to zoom, it's always best to move closer to your subject. Being physically closer rather than zooming in will give you better audio if you're using the camera mic and a steadier, sharper image. Speaking of steady, an inexpensive tripod can make an invaluable difference, especially when capturing a lecture. If a tripod is not available, consider placing your camera on a fixed object like a desk. While not ideal, it will give you a steadier shot. Make sure your shot is in focus. You want things to look sharp as possible. If your camera is mounted on a tripod, use manual focus to maintain a sharp picture and try to keep a clean line of sight between the subject and the camera. Now that you have shot the main subject of your video, let's capture some B-roll. B-roll reinforces your message. Instead of showing a person talking, you can show what they are talking about to make your message more powerful. B-roll works in conjunction with your audio to tell the story. For example, if in your video someone is explaining process technology, insert shots of petrochemicals in the lab and refineries while the subject is speaking. This makes the video come to life. B-roll is essential to keeping your audience engaged. Those are the basics of shooting with a video camera. But before we move on, there's another form of capturing we need to cover. If you want to be able to capture something on your computer screen, like a website, course material, a Skype call, or a PowerPoint, use a screen capture application. There are many options available, but the fundamentals are the same. You can record an entire video using screen capture, or you can use it for supplemental content or B-roll. Many faculty are using screen capture to create lessons and posting them online for their students. There are two things to keep in mind when using screen capture software. Make sure your computer system has the processing power and available disk space for smooth recording sessions. Close all other applications so that the screen capture application has the resources it needs. This is also done to minimize distractions such as email pop-up alerts. Make sure you're using a quality microphone in a quiet room. A USB microphone will provide better audio quality. Analog microphone cables can act as antennas, picking up interference from external sources. One of the most important things you can do is back up all your digital assets before moving into post-production. Whether it's a cloud-based storage, an external drive, or both, this is a critical step. It's an inexpensive insurance policy. You have prepared for your shoot, you carefully captured all of your material, and have backed up everything. Now you're ready for the next module, post-production.